Yeah, look, the universities, the Group 8 universities, as well as 31 other universities, as part of a peak body of an organization called Universities Australia, have adopted a definition of anti-Semitism, and this definition has been criticized by a lot of organizations, namely Amnesty International wrote about it to speak up against it. One of the issues that we extract from this, or me personally, is that it seems that now there's this sort of inability for us to speak up against a government, to speak up against the state of Israel.
We can even speak up against our own government. That's a red flag right there. Yeah. If the average Joe Blow can't see this, that this is a big, you can say, violation of our freedom of expression, that we can't even criticize. I mean, imagine if we were to say that you can't criticize Saudi Arabia. It's out of bounds. Don't go there. You know, then imagine the outrage. You can't criticize Russia. You can't criticize China. But they don't realize you've got your certain politicians defending tooth and nail the right for Israel not to be criticized.
I mean, Sheikh, let's put this into perspective in terms of what the both of us are studying. Our degrees ask us to some level to have an opinion on governments, to at times critique them. A lot of my assignments or essays in my international relations degree are related to, you'd have to comment on policies of governments and all that. But can you imagine now, in a hypothetical scenario, where with this working definition, that we are said that, look, you're free to criticize any government in the world except for this one. How do you expect us to engage in rigorous academic discussion? The clever thing about this, the wording of this, Sheikh, is that with this inability to, I guess, speak about the government of Israel, it also falls down to protests because they can use the vagueness of this language to cut down on protests as well.
Protests within the university.
Yes, and label them as anti-Semitic protests and shut those protests down. And this is where the real issue is that if you start to sort of prevent us from protesting, which, as we discussed before, is a fundamental human right. If you start to, crack down on protesting, then you're cracking down on our right to resistance. And if we don't have a right to resist, then how can we make change?
Absolutely.